BC sir will
Vikas?
join. BC sir will join after 10 minutes.
मेरे बच्चे ने तो
Okay,
बहुत
okay,
सुलोक
okay.
We
बोला,
start the session, and I
बहुत
will
सुलोक
introduce
बोलने वाले.
Professor Joseph sir.
Okay. So, respected guests and dear participants, warm welcome
कुछ
to
बोल रहे
all
हैं
of
ये
you
दिखाई
at
दो.
the inaugural session of workshop on enhancing research paper writing skills, organized by Indian Research Scholar Association. So basically, the effective research paper writing has become a more critical than ever in the rapidly evolving landscape of academia. It is not just about the sharing knowledge; it's about communicating ideas clearly and persuasively to a global audience. This workshop aims to equip you with the essential skills and strategies needed to enhance your writings. Writing streamline your research
बताइए मुझे.
process and ultimately elevate the quality of your academic contributions. This workshop is designed especially for research scholars, faculty members, and postgraduate students and others who are eager to improve their research writing abilities. Over the next few
ये देखिए तो.
days, we will
ठीक है.
delve into various aspects of research paper writings, from structuring your paper to effective citation practices. Our esteemed speakers and experts will share their insights and experiences. We encourage each of you to actively participate, ask questions, and share your experience. And this is not just a learning opportunity, but also a chance to connect with fellow researchers and build a supportive community. So now, without taking so much time, I would like to invite Mr. Vikas Kumar, the President of Indian Research Scholar Association, for welcome address.
Okay, okay. Thank you, Dr. Hemant Kumar sir, for inviting me. First of all, I will not take more time because today we have excellent panel and uh, very prestigious uh, scholars on the field of the research papers writing. So, first of all, on the behalf of me and on the behalf of the Indian Research Scholars Association, I would like to welcome the all the participants. Those have joined from the various parts of the India. So I would like to welcome today's chief guest, Honorable Vice-Chancellor of the Central University, North Hill Eastern University, Meghalaya, Honorable Prabha Shankar Shukla sir. I would like to welcome the guest of today's guest of honor to Professor KJ Joseph sir, who has always encouraged us to do some good works on the field of the research and in the academia. So, on the behalf of me and India Research Scholars Association, I welcome to you, sir. I would like to welcome to Professor P.V. Mohanty, sir. Uh, sir, you're most welcome and thanks for joining today this session. I would like to welcome to the Professor C.L. Dadhichi, sir, uh, renowned scholar on the field of the economics, and sir is also a former research director, Reserve Bank of the India. So you're most welcome, sir. And sir has joined our workshop the first time. And I would like to welcome respected Professor Sirin Mosvi, ma'am, who will give presidential remark in today's inaugural session. So, on behalf of me and also the India Research Scholars Association, I would like to welcome all the prestigious guests and participants. And I would like to also welcome the all executive committee members of the Indian Research of this workshop and Indian Research Scholars Association, especially convener of this program to Dr. Hemant Kumarji, a postdoc doctorate fellow, Jawaharlal Nehru University, New Delhi, JNU, and co-convener of this workshop to Subhangi Radha Amle. So I think now I would like to again invite to Dr. Hemant ji, because Professor Joseph sir has limited time. Sir, I can understand your busy schedule. So over to you, Dr. Hemant. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Vikas. So, I would like to invite Professor Joseph Sir. He is Director of Gulati Institute of Finance and Taxations, Chief Editor Innovation and Development, Terra Francis, Scopus Index. Sir, please share your thoughts, your insights, your experiences regarding the enhanced research paper writing skills. Over to you, sir.
Honorable Vice-Chancellor of Northeastern Hills University, Professor Mohanty, Professor Dadich, about whom I've heard a lot even while I was a student. Sir, I'm very happy that I think we have never met. I have a lot of friends in RBI, including Subir Gokran, uh, I'm so happy to see you. Professor Cyril, Muswi, and wonderful. My most importantly, PhD research scholars who are aspiring to write and publish. I think to begin with, I must congratulate and place on record my sincere appreciation to Indian Research Scholars Association, headed by President Vikas Kumar and Hemant Kumar. Both these, I found them incredible in terms of their enthusiasm, their commitment, and dedication and hard work they are investing to the profession by mobilizing scholars and organizing highly relevant academic events. I appreciate and congratulate you, my young friends. And I know that you have a long way to go in this country, because if my understanding is not wrong, economics teaching and research in this country has to travel at least 1,000,000 more kilometers. In many ways, I repeat, in many ways, our trajectory has been to an unacceptable downward one, which I'm very happy that you are making your effort towards a turnaround in that trajectory. I wish you all the best and my all support for it. In fact, I had an untoward incident in a seminar just online happening. So the vigilance people are coming. Some unpleasant thing happened because people entered in the online mode without registration. So there are some problems. So vigilance people are coming anytime for further inquiry. So I'll be very brief now. Where to start? So you want to write? You can write. And I remember when I was in Yale University, there was a saying all the time going along saying that publish or perish. Publish or perish. And I thought that now in this country, there is a tendency of publishing and perishing. In the US, in the Yale University, when we were talking about publishing, you were talking about publishing in highly rated journals. Please remember, I have my own reservations about the rating of the journals itself. I have another story about to say anecdotal evidence about what Professor Martin Bell wrote when research policy got an impact factor of 3.75, one of the most rated journal in our area. He said that this rating doesn't mean anything. In his editorial, he wrote, "I am writing it because I got this rating. If the rating, you don't have a rating, you can't say this." Now, the fact I'm trying to say is that what we need to write, we need to publish. But I must tell you that today you don't need to publish. You can have your own website. You can have your own thoughts in our website. If social media is an important forum for publishing your, circulating your ideas. Maybe that today they may not be noted, but writing something in your website, maybe after 200 years, historians will dig it up and give you a Nobel Prize posthumously. We don't know, but keep writing, keep writing. But now the point is that if you want to get, let's be pragmatic. If you want to write, if you want to get an appropriate recognition, you have to publish in proper journals. And point number one, for that, what are the important things that you should do? There are quite many of them. I may focus only on two. Only on two. Point number one, your writing has to be based on proper research. When here I ask you a question, what is the difference between a thesis and a report? Quite many of the stuff that comes to my table for evaluation from the Indian universities, I consider them as report, not thesis. Quintessentially, a report, and quintessentially the difference is that a PhD thesis must have a clearly articulated theoretical or analytical framework. I'll elaborate. What do you mean by framework? Any research involves collection of information. That information can be quantitative, it can be qualitative, it can be through primary survey, it can be through secondary survey, whatever it is, you gather information. Once you gather information, I will call this information as water, This water, when you gather, this water can be put into this cup. The water will take the shape of this cup. The same water, when I put it in another bottle, it will take the shape of the bottle. Information is same. Information is same. But the shape, if this is different. So with the same information, using different framework, you can draw different inferences. So the first and foremost aspect of research is that you need to have a clearly articulated framework of analysis. Unfortunately, what I find here in India is that, in fact, I have a journal which was started to promote scholars from the South. African scholars have picked up significantly, but Indian scholars have not. Once you give the comment, they run away. They can't even, I'll come back to that question. Now, when you talk about analytical framework, where does this analytical framework come from? Analytical framework comes from a clear understanding and articulation and critical observation of the existing stock of knowledge of the problem that you have. First of all, you have a problem. About that problem, there is an existing stock of knowledge. So from that existing stock of knowledge, when you critically do it, you derive your own, you locate the gap, and that gap is filled through your own your analytical framework. Now the point is that you can have a research without analytical framework. You can have a grounded theory approach. Well, this is a problem. There is nothing is available. I am doing a grounded theory approach. But I can understand if there is nothing is available. Suppose I am working on cardamom marketing, or suppose I am working on rice marketing. There may be marketing of some other studies, something of other things that happen. So what I'm trying to articulate is that you need to have a clearly articulated analytical framework. And major problem with Indian research papers is that they are table 1, table 2, table 4, table 15 conclusion. And when it comes to an editor, it immediately goes to the dustbin. It is not subjected to even ruffling. So point number one is that you need to have an analytical framework. Only through good research, good writing can come. Writing skill is somebody else will train you how to do the writing. I don't have the time and energy to say that. Now, that particular theoretical framework actually come through your own true commitment to the economy, the society, the people whom you are dealing with. I have some good friends. I remember when I was doing my PhD with $500, I have traveled 500 rupees per month fellowship. I traveled all across the country. and I found that many things I observed. Say, for example, a television, when you talk about industry market concentration, we have a CR estimate, concentration ratio estimation. And I found that estimation of typical Herfindahl index is a rubbish exercise in India, because Texla, a brand which is very dominant, I found in Delhi, it is no more in South. It is Dianora. When I go to West Bengal, I found Konark popular. It is not seen anywhere else. When I go to Gujarat, I find something else. So then I argued that Indian market is segmented. Then I started articulating why, how this segmentation. Then I started making my own theory. Then I came to know that in 1928, Shrafa, 1933, hoteling, they have already said it. So I went very happy. Oh, look, without reading them, I started thinking in their line. So that formed one of my chapters. So what I'm trying to say that to evolve an analytical framework, you need to have a proper understanding of the stock of theoretical and empirical knowledge on the subject, and you should have a critical mind to observe that. And then, unfortunately, in the review of literature of the type that I see in the Indian thesis, the review is actually alphabetical order of the authors, or the year of birth of the authors. One paragraph about one author, another paragraph another author. In fact, Joyce Bain in 1996 American Economic Association, he told me that my thesis hardly had 24 references. My daughter's thesis has 271 references. Now, how many of you actually critically, thoroughly read an article fully? No, nobody reads. I remember in my institute, we asked students, when I was doing MPhil, students had to make paper presentation. When I make a paper, my friend will be reading his paper. No, what I do here is that one paper, thoroughly discuss everyone. And every paragraph should be threadbare, discussed in a group. And from one paragraph, you may be seeing one inference, I may be seeing another inference. And there should be a fight. So my dear friends, learning is quintessentially a interactive process. If you think that you can do your research only by interacting with your supervisor, my dear friends, you are wrong. In fact, I said that by the time I finished my thesis, I met Jairam Ramesh as Mr. Jairam Ramesh as an OST in 1986. Even now, he's like my elder brother. Even yesterday, we communicated, and I had whole lot of many people. I knew many people. Many people knew that here is a guy working on PhD. And unfortunately, if you think that you can do a PhD by sitting in your computer room and taking data from the sky and running 500 regressions, and my dear friends, these regressions I call regret functions, not regression functions. They are actually regret functions. That doesn't make you get 5 variables immediately. Your regression is run. And this is what I'm trying to say, that with proper analytical framework, research, good writing cannot be done without good research. Good research needs, this is essentially, I would say, the interactive learning process. I can talk about learning and knowledge making differently. Now, coming to publication, I assume that you have written something. Suppose I have a journal which I am the editor-in-chief. I have one more editor-in-chief recently appointed, and I have got 10, 11 editors all across and I have 128 scientific committee members. So what I do, 1.5 page when I read, I will know whether I should read or not beyond. In Malayalam, there's a saying that by seeing a baby, you will be able to know whether the household is rich or poor. Similarly, by reading 1.5 page, a tiered summary of important theoretical literature should be there. Then you should say a clear articulation of what is the research problem. Then you should say what is your contribution, what is the addition to the stock of knowledge. 1.5 page, you should put that. With 1.5 page, I will make, and your summary, when you write your summary, you will know whether it should go or not. So, first of all, before writing an article, please plan which journal I am writing. Point number 1. First of all, then familiarize with the journal. And you need to see journal editors are, we are under severe competition. I need to have my H index, my citation site score all going up. So when somebody is sending an article and he has not seen any of my articles earlier published and he has cited all the other journals, I will say you get lost. Of course, I won't say the paper will go for, if it's good, we go for reviewing. After the editors after the reviewers reviewing the comments, I will add additional comments. You need to familiarize with the publications already made in this journal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Essentially, indirectly say that you should cite those papers. So, first of all, the first thing normally academicians, a normal common man read. Suppose I take a book, how do common man read? Common man will read from left to right, introduction, heading, forward, preface, etc., etc. When your thesis goes for reviewing, John Wiley, famous World Bank economist, in a dinner time told me that economists or academicians and thesis evaluators start reading from the last page. Look at the bibliography. Okay. Whether he is familiar with my work? Oh, very good. He has seen my paper. He has read my book. Half the thesis, 25% of the thesis is passed. I was a PhD coordinator in Center for Development Studies more than 10 years. Going by the record of the thesis which were rejected, the first thing which I could identify is that a person who has not published earlier, his thesis, probability of his thesis getting rejected is very high. And the evaluator, oh, he has also published. Oh, I published. He has published. So there is some kind of an equality between the thesis writer and the author and the evaluator is established. I published. He also published. I published. He also published. So the probability of the thesis getting rejected reduced by 50%. Then content goes. Then the question is, most of the people are very busy people in writing reviews. I don't know, Shireen, Mosvi, please forgive me for saying things which people may not like. This is not, and these are people are very busy, and the controller of exam will be writing. Please send the review, send the review, send the review. If it's a very good thesis, see why I ask for reviewing article. Reviewing thesis. Because I want to know what is the new things happening. I don't write these days. I'm a registrar, I'm the director, I'm the finance officer, everything of the institute. So I have no time to read. I only write. Minister asks, he gives, somebody writes, he writes. So this is a quick way of learning what is the state of the art. That's why I asked for accepting the review. When it comes rubbish, I feel first, when I immediately read, within 1.5 hours I can evaluate a thesis, in fact. Then I keep it there. Then finally, when I write the review, if the more I can, very clearly your conclusions are given there, very clearly your framework is given there, then review writing is very easy. Then your thesis submission is fact. Okay, now coming back to the point is that, first of all, learn about the journal. Secondly, cite relevant articles of that journal in your article. That's very, very important. Okay, that's two important things. Your probability I'm only asking. And thirdly, you should not commit basic mistakes. Say, for example, each journal has a style. Review of Economics and Statistics, for example, has a style where in the second and third paragraph, they give the summary of the finding. This is the finding of the study that is given. And that style you should follow. Secondly, you should, in terms of referencing and other things, you should follow the style of the journal. And those mistakes are coming, they immediately get fished out. Of course, nowadays, editorial office will fix all those things. But then it's an extra labor. And thirdly, suppose the journal has got clearly read the journal instructions, very important. And fourthly, when you are given a review, reviewers' comments in India, Indian students can't stand review. I think I must stop now. Indian students, when the moment review comes, they fall unconscious. Oh, this is not accepted. They stop. See, I remember in AIL, I was there. One of the I think CEO, he's a big senior most position in ADB, Mr. Ramesh Subramanian, you can Google. We were together. And one article he submitted to, if I remember correctly, Review of Economics and Statistics. It was not published. He was very upset. Comments were very, 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 very unfriendly. Immediately, afternoon, his supervisor from, I think he was in UK, some university. Oh, Ramesh, I am very happy. Why? If we incorporate these comments, the article will not go to review of statistics, it will go to quarterly journal. You know what I mean? So that is the point. And when you write the response, incorporate the comments, take comment by comment. Then you should clearly state how you have incorporated. And also you should assert your freedom as an academician with, I have not incorporated this. And you should always have you should always know, in India we do not know, you should know how to differ with respect. In India, if you differ, you kill them. You should, in academic discourses, in fact, in my institute seminar notices, there's a footnote. There's an underline. If you read, you will find that deliberate to learn, differ with respect. You should discourse and dialogues. In Malayalam, they say that samvadam. If there is no samvadam, there will be sangatranam. Sangatranam means, so if there is no, so what I'm trying to say is that you reserve the freedom to differ with respect. So your manner in which you write response. I remember one of the articles, there are 3 authors, their response was almost 1.5 times their article. That shows their capability. So, and writing in a very polite manner to the reviewer is very, very important. So I think these are some of the tips I would say. People are waiting in my other room. I'm sorry about it. We can talk otherwise. Vikas, thank you very much for inviting me. I love to be with you guys. We'll meet sometime. Okay. Thank you very much. All the best for all of you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Thank you for your insights, your experiences regarding enhancing research of writing skills. I am definitely confident that our participants learn so many things from your views, your experiences, your insights. Thank you very much.
I would love to stay back. I have some seminar tomorrow. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. So
sir,
now I would like to.
सर ज्वाइन कर चुके हैं हेमंत सर ऑनरेबल वाइस चांसलर सर है ज्वाइन
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Vikas, for informing. Now, I would like to invite Chief Guest, Professor Prabha Shankar Shukla sir, Honorable Vice-Chancellor, Northeastern Hill University, Shillong. Sir, welcome to our workshop. And sir, please incite us and give your remarks.
Yes, I can start.
Yes, sir.
How much time?
Thank you, sir.
No, sir, it's depend on you, sir.
It depends on you, sir.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay. So first of all, I would like to say extremely sorry due to already some engagement, I was not able to join the program in time. Okay. And organizer of the program and speaker of the program of research, Mr. Vikas Kumar, President of Indian Research Scholar Association and research scholar at a political science and human rights development department, Central University of Amarkantak, and other speakers like Professor Sanjay Tiwari ji, Vice-Chancellor Madhya Pradesh, Bhoj Vishwavidyalaya Open University Bhopal, Professor BV जो है Mohanty, Professor Department of Social Science, Pondicherry University, and other the scientists will be delivering are going to deliver the valedictory session, but not going to take the much time. Again, before going to start the deliberation on enhancing research paper writing skills, would like to thank the organizer for giving me this opportunity to share my views at this forum.
Thank you, sir.
My dear friends, having innovative intellectual minds ready to take the challenges ahead, of the country, region, as well as the state. I'm extremely happy that today we all are here to appear and throw some light on effective research paper writing skills. I have been seen excellent researchers, those who failed to communicate effectively due to lack of research paper writing skills. Obviously, it comes to our mind. What is the difference between the research paper writing skills and academic writing skills? So I will start with a sloka. Yat bhavo tat bhavati. आप जैसा सोचते हैं वैसा ही बन जाते हैं. And I think all of you have the experience. Your thinking is totally dependent on your behavior. And this sloka relates to our thoughts, process, and emotions in shaping what happens in real life. If we think about positive things and set a positive intentions, positive results will naturally follow. And this is like the law of attraction that says that the energy we give out is the same energy that comes back to us from the universe. So by this sloka, we train our mind to focus on results, better situations, and more happiness. And this is what exactly happens when we publish an excellent research paper. Our happiness is unlimited. Our research papers is a reflection of our organic thoughtfulness and the ability to think creativity. Therefore, we all can agree to the fact that when we publish an excellent research paper, definitely our happiness is unlimited. Our research paper, I already mentioned, the reflection of our organic thoughtfulness. So we can agree to the fact that a research paper is a meticulously structured document that showcases the outcomes of an inquiry, exploration, or scrutiny undertaken on a specific subject. It is a formal piece of academic prose that adds novel information, perspectives, or interpretations of our mind to a particular domain of study. Typically, authored by scholars, researchers, scientists, or students as part of their academic or professional pursuit. These papers adhere to a well-defined format, and this research paper format encompasses an introduction, literature review, methodologies, results, discussions, and conclusions. So now, the big question, how to enhance our writing skills for authoring a research paper? Again, I am going to recite a sloka. Aham asmi sampurnam. We all are thinking this. हम सभी मानते हैं कि मैं जो कुछ हूं वो मैं हूं, मैं ही संपूर्ण हूं। अहम अस्मि संपूर्ण, संस्कृत में जिसका जो अर्थ है कि मैं, अर्थ है मैं हूं। Therefore I am complete and whole. ऐसा हम सोचते भी हैं, टाइम टू टाइम वी आर थिंकिंग दिस, बट नो वन इज कंप्लीट। We should believe in our capabilities. No one is complete, but we should believe our capabilities. That's why in every discussion, always mentioning that everyone have 24 hours in a day. No one have more than 24 hours in. No one have more than 24 hours in a day. It's your ability up to which extent you can utilize different platform of your life for your own development. And this will gives the necessary confidence towards authoring an excellent research paper with your own writing abilities. I think might be you are all are agree with this. The one another small word of the Sanskrit, anugachati pravaha, and this is the second sloka that I always emphasize because it teaches us to go with the flow. Go with the flow, not without flow. Sometime you are having a high speed, sometime you are having the low speed. No, your flow should be the similar. In the life, we never know what problems or what kind of success we might get next. Life can throw a number of possibilities and problems at us. And it is best to just go with the flow. This sloka advises the pupil to align themselves with the natural flow of life rather than resist it. And this is quite applicable in our natural writing skills. The flow of writing will emerge from your thoughts process or thought process, be a fluid like a water, spread out your thoughts through your writing abilities. Another thing, again I'm going to take one another example from the Sanskrit. Ishwar asti mam sakti. And we also believe on this. It means Ishwar asti mam sakti means, it means God is my power and strength. Between all the obstacles, hurdles, crying, laughing, whatever life throws at you, this sloka feels like a hug from God himself. And it is as if God is assuring us that no matter what happens, I will always be your source of strength. So make God your source of strength and embark on your research career. Let me give you a real life example of the great mathematician, genius Ramanujan. I think might be you aware of that. Who believed that his work was inspired by the goddess Namagiri, and that he received mathematical inspiration in his dreams. He claimed a dream of blood drop, which led to vision of complex mathematical work unfolding before him. At the age of 31, Ramanujan was one of the youngest fellows in the Royal Society of History. The every mind have the power. And definitely, the younger generation of the country already have the power. It's depend on the individual or the younger generation of the country, how they are going to utilize this power. Feel the essence of the power. He often said, an equation for me has no meaning unless it represents the thoughts of God. Ramanujan's life and work demonstrated the connection between science, faith, and the mysteries of existence. So fostering a research culture is essential to any institution that wants to have a forward vision. Academia is at the forefront of this, like you, and academic institutions must be strongly committed to this objective. Particularly, higher education, which is growing rapidly in our country, has a vital role in developing an indigenous body of knowledge to help the effective management of research and educational organizations. That's why under national education policy, the researchers are defined in three parts, are categorized in three parts: basic researches, applied researches, and action-oriented researches. And that's why the national education policy also encouraging the faculty member and student to make a relation between the different organizations and industries along with the society, to know the problem of the society, to know the problem of the region, and to know the problem of the industry. Accordingly, categorize the problems and make a hypothesis to solve this problem, or make a unique hypothesis to develop a new researches in a particular area. So fostering the research culture is essential to any institutions that want to have forward vision. Clearly mentioned that the academia is already doing this. Educational institutions are also doing this. So the point I like to highlight is to practice doing research with quality and integrity. From identifying the research problems onwards, carrying our exceptions or expectations to students in written communication is essential for a good research outcome. Thus, giving student specific guidance and support in each research strategy is very important. Here, for a proper outcome, this is the only way we can develop the quality and integrity of research and the benefit of such good practices to the students. I just like to mention some points, especially for the students. Students gain confidence in writing a piece of work that gives meaning with a originality. But what is going on? At this time, generally our students taking the help from the artificial intelligence. But what you are already lacking behind this? You are also something, you are lacking behind this your own ability. Always kept in your mind, AI is a man-created tools to help time to time for different activities. AI cannot be the substitute of human brain. Because this is our creation, means human mind creation. But practically, how many students or researchers are thinking this? By hook or crook, everyone wants to develop, want to write a good research paper without knowing that what are the drawbacks or up to which extent I can utilize this tool. Another point is the students have learned the systematic way of investigating a problem. How many prepare the hypothesis? How many discuss about the hypothesis with other students and justified their hypothesis? This is a weakness of our research system. That's why at the timing of the writing of the research paper, sometimes we are even, our students are also not in position to say that whatever I am going to write is right or wrong. This is another problem. Next thing is this, how simple data can be analyzed to make a meaningful evidence-based conclusion. But what generally we are doing? Trying to copy from same type of other thesis. Going to take the language from the other thesis and only shifting the data. Means we are not fully utilizing our capacity to interpret the data on the basis of the references, reviews, whatever already available in different journals, books. This is the weakness. Another thing, the publication. A publication that can be used to showcase their abilities to future job opportunities. So anyhow, the real problem in our research structures, students are not worried about the good research paper or patent on anything, but he is always worried about how to complete the minimum requirement of the thesis or the requirement of the UGC or requirement of the any other degrees are made. This is another weakness. Above all, I already mentioned the points. Satisfaction of completing a daunting task at the various stages of learning to the best of their abilities. So my dear students, before going to write the things, you must think, you must discuss your topics with other students and prove yourself. Yes, anyone can even make the question, put up a question in front of you. But with your confidence, you can say that, yes, I have the knowledge, I have the justification, and this is the right thing. Of all the languages skills, writing is the most difficult challenge for language teachers because students have less experience with written expressions stimulated by audio-visual materials throughout their lives. Students are new learners in the discipline of writing. So making writing an ongoing part of the foreign languages acquisition other than mother tongue languages from the first day in class will help ensure student success. The purpose of learning is a language is to improve the learner four skills of listening, speaking, reading, and writing to achieve the ultimate goal of mastering the language. But the present generation, all of you, or maximum already have the swearing. What we are doing, our generation is doing. Generally, they are always ready to type the things, not ready to write it in number of papers. How many copies you already fill up? Just take the phone. Yeah. Just a minute. Yeah.
Hello. Hello. Namaste. Yeah, please send him.
Okay, just one disturbance.
No problem, sir.
So another thing, why are writing skills important? Another topic just going to. Why writing skills is important in the life of academicians, researchers, listeners, or speakers? First of all, writing skills help the learner to become independent, comprehensible, fluent, and creative in writing. That's why writing skill is an essential part. Important abilities which help learners put their thoughts in meaningful form and to mentally tackle the message in a proper manner. When it comes to writing in a foreign language, it is even more challenging. Writing English clearly is an important goal for our English learner. But English is not our mother language. We can think better in our mother language. That's why in national education policy, regional, national, and international, all the three languages are important. And definitely I can say, not today, but tomorrow, government is going to make it. If you are submitting your application in northeastern part of the country, definitely you must know the one regional language. Just like I experienced, basically I'm a plant breeder, means agriculturist, farmers are our consumer. So without knowing the farmer and understanding, I'm not able to transfer my technology. And same thing is also happening in academic institutions. If you are able to know regional, national, means regional means your mother language. National means the national language. And everyone is well aware about the international languages. What we are doing, we are always writing our research paper in international language. And we don't have that kind of feeling in our mind. Everyone, every Indian have the feeling, your first feeling of their mother language. So they must be able to translate the mother language into national language and international language. That is a requirement of the hour. So how to develop an effective research paper writing skills? Definitely, step by step, just would like to mention, select a clear and manageable topic with your hypothesis. Choose a topic that is specific and focused enough to be thoroughly explored within the scope of your paper. The important thing. Second thing is conduct in-depth research, not superficial. Research should not be the superficial, only to fulfill the जो है requirement of the जो है UGC or requirement of any जो है articles or paper. To conduct in-depth research, gather information from reputable sources such as academic journals, books, and credible websites. Number of websites are available. Number of knowledge is available. You must check this is the right information or wrong information available on different websites. You cannot say only that this is already available. I already bought this information from this website. No, you must check that information with the relevant journal and books. Create a strong thesis statement. Craft a clear and concise thesis statement that outlines the main argument or purpose of your paper. Develop a well-structured outline. Organize your ideas into a logical form or logical orders by creating an outline that outlines the main sections and their supporting points. Compose a creative introduction. Means hook the reader with a engaging introduction that provides background information and introduce the thesis statement. Provide a clear and relevant evidence. Evidence means references, definitely the references. Support your arguments with reliable and relevant evidence, such as statistical or example or experts' opinion. Craft coherent paragraphs. Each paragraph should focus on a single idea and transition should smoothly guide the reader from one idea to the next idea. Use active voice. At the time of writing of the research paper, always use the active voice. Writing in the active voice to make your writing more direct and engaging. Revise and edit thoroughly. Generally, before the submitting of the paper for publication, how many are revising? Just think what's already I completed this work. हमने काम पूरा कर दिया बस अब आराम कीजिए. Generally not going to revise the things. Or you can take the help of the teacher, you can take up the other researcher, or you can just exchange your research paper. Read the research paper and find out the mistakes. Even you can call the group of the research scholars. Yes, this is my research paper. I am giving all of you. Kindly find out the mistake on my research paper. So with this way, we can जो है improve the जो है our writing ability and quality of the research paper. Seek peer feedback. Already mentioned that. Have a peer instructors review your papers is feedback and suggestion. You can do this with the help of your own friend. Cite source properly, accurately. Cite all sources using the required citation style to avoid plagiarism and give credit to original authors. But what generally we are doing? Yes, I am going to put your name in my research paper and you should also put my name in your research paper. So both will be in position to increase the number of research papers. Generally, this is our thinking. Common thinking is going among the research scholars. Another thing, be concise and avoid redundancy. Strive for clarity by eliminating unnecessary words and redundancies. conclude effectively. Yet you can conclude your research paper within 2 to 3 sentences. Or your sentences should be जो है very clear and message conveying. Summarize your main points and results, your thesis in the conclusion. Provide a scene of closure without introducing new ideas. होता क्या है, एक आइडिया चलती रहती है, उसमें दूसरी आइडिया इंटर कर जाती है. Why this is? Due to lack of discussions. Yeah, okay. Another thing is, proof read with fresh eyes. Fresh eyes means who is not directly or indirectly concerned with the writing of the research. Unknown person. Just read this paper and find out the mistake. I already mentioned that. Take a break before final proof reading to review your paper with a fresh perspective, helping you catch any overlooked errors. Edit for clarity. Ensure that your ideas are conveyed clearly and that your argument are easy to follow. Ask for feedback. I already mentioned that. You can take the feedback from your friends. You can take the feedback from the good teachers. Don't hesitate. Jansi, we all are having the hesitation. So don't hesitate to ask a feedback from peers, instructors, or writing centers to improve your paper future. So my dear friends, finally, the most adorable mantras for all aspiring researchers and scholars would like to mention here also. Om Ekdantaye Vidmahe Vaktatundaye Dhimahi Tanno Danti Prachodayat. Means chanting this mantra. Chanting this mantra, which is regarded as Lord Ganesha foundational mantra, will bring heavenly favor and blessings. It will guide all of us for better achievement, intelligence, and articles. So my dear friends, again, would like to conclude the same. Before going to start any kind of writings, either the research paper or the articles, whatever you have in your mind, first you write without anything, whatever in your mind, first you write in one page. Again, going to think and improve them. So step by step, you will be in position to develop yourself like a good researcher, good teacher, good academician for finding the right solution at right time and right platform. With this, once again, thanks to organizer for giving me this opportunity to share views. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you so much. Your views, your insights are really incredible. Especially starting and ending with the slokas are really excellent. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
एक्चुअली मैंने सर को पहली बार अपने विश्वविद्यालय में सुना था 2022 में जुलाई में. सर आप आए थे पुस्तक विमर्श के लिए, अगर आपको याद हो. तो प्रोफेसर अनुपम शर्मा मैडम ने वो लेक्चर कोऑर्डिनेट किया, मोदी @20 बुक. उसको उस लेक्चर को मैंने ही पूरा राइटिंग में कवर किया था. तो बहुत दिन से सुनने की उम्मीद थी, आपको आशा थी. लास्टली आज आप यहाँ पर आए सर, और हम सबको आशीर्वाद दिया. और विशेष करके जो यंग स्कॉलर्स हैं, सर वास्तव में आपके विचारों से और आपके मार्गदर्शन से प्रेरणा लेकर के कुछ अच्छा करने का हम लोग प्रयास
नहीं
करें।
नहीं, क्योंकि आई हैव ए जो है इवन प्रेजेंटेशन, बट ड्यू टू सम टेक्निकल चीजें आई वाज नॉट एबल टू इवन प्रेजेंट जो है पीपीटी.
जी सर, जी
So
सर,
I will share my PPT to you, circulate among the student.
जी सर।
So hopefully they can take the benefit of PPT also. Okay, I will circulate.
Definitely, sir. Definitely.
प्रणाम।
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. So now I would like to invite Professor Mohanty, sir. He is a professor at the Department of Sociology, Pondicherry University, and managing editor, Sociological Bulletin, Scopus Journal. Sir, please share your views, your ideas regarding the theme of the workshop. Welcome, sir. Over to you.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, everybody. Honorable Vice-Chancellor of Northeastern Hill University, Professor Shukla ji, Professor Joseph, whom I heard few minutes before, Professor Dadichi, the name is there, but I don't see him, his face, he's not appearing, he's not visible.
No sir, sir is here. Dadichi sir is
Okay,
here.
okay. So okay, then Professor Musvi and Mr. Vikas Kumar, who is the President of Indian Research Scholar Association, the convener, Mr. Hemant Kumar, and the co-convener, I forgot the name, and all the participants, those who are attending this workshop. At the outset, I must appreciate and congratulate the Indian Research Scholars Association and its team for continuously organizing very useful academic events for the benefit of the young scholars and young students. And this event particularly is more useful because it is addressing the question of writing skill, enhancing the writing of research paper skill. Research paper skill is a very important topic and is very useful for the PhD students and for the younger scholars, because as already been explained by Professor Shukla and also Professor Joseph very elaborately, that writing is a kind of very difficult task, very challenging task. All of us, we have experienced it. Even though many of us who have reached at a kind of senior level, we have also experienced that difficulty in the beginning. It's a very difficult and challenging thing. We do research, we go collect data and make some analysis, and when you start writing, how to write. This is a kind of difficult kind of challenging thing, that how to write. So writing actually is a kind of skill, it's a kind of craft. It's a different kind of craft and skill, which actually is learned and honed through practice. All of a sudden one cannot write a paper. You have to keep on writing, and over the years you will gain the skill that how to write perfectly. The perfection comes through practice. You cannot start from beginning. Nobody can be a perfect writer. So you have to practice it, and for that actually we need to keep on writing. And there are some essential attributes of writing. I am not suggesting, or I am not actually going to tell about how to write a research paper. That is altogether a different thing. I just focus on how to enhance the writing skill. One thing I must tell you, to enhance the writing skill means you must have a kind of interest to read more. Reading is an important component of writing. Reading, not that simple reading. We read newspapers, we read novels, we read magazines. Not that in that manner we have to read. Reading in a critical reading. You have to read critically. You have to read intensively, widely, critically, and actively. It's not that while going to sleep you read. When we go to sleep, sometimes we read some novels or some poems and then we go to sleep. But in case of this kind of academic writings, we require actually critical reading, very active reading, intensive reading. and because we have to find faults with the paper, or we have to find faults or weaknesses, and develop some points which will be useful for us. So that is what the critical reading is essential, and critical thinking. Reading simultaneously with critical thinking. We have to think critically of somebody's ideas. When we read some paper, we come across some new ideas or some new kind of points that you have to think critically whether how far that is appropriate, or whether that can be questioned, that can be challenged, or that can be extended. And for another attribute of to enhance the skill is that we need to interact with our peer team, research among the researchers, among the teachers, or among the kind of wider audience. You need to discuss, debate, and interact. Exchange of ideas takes place. Sometimes we are thinking something at a kind of some level. It may not be correct. There may be some deficiencies. When we discuss with others, so we get a chance to improvise. We can get some inputs how to improve further. So that is actually another component of another element to how to enhance the skill is to discuss and debate or interact with others who are working in the same area or working in the kind of related allied areas. So that is an essential kind of things. And reading, I told you that reading is an essential component. Reading of research articles or research papers, books, that is one thing. And reading of the classical text, you must read the classical text, original kind of text. So that will give you kind of original ideas, and that will give you kind of necessary inputs how to think. If you read original kind of text of any of the classical writers, that will be actually, you will enjoy the reading, and also you will get some new ideas. Because writing is a kind of self-reflection. What you are thinking, how to reflect it. So for that, actually, it is you have to how to articulate your ideas, or how to comprehend your ideas. If you read some of this important kind of text, then you will give you some kind of inputs. And more importantly, when we write, we actually express through some language, whether it is English, whether it is Odia, whether it is Hindi, Tamil, some language we require. You can write in Hindi, you can write in English. Those who are weak in English, that doesn't mean that they cannot write. English is a language. So like Tamil or like Hindi, it's a language. Ideas are more important than language. If you have good ideas, even if you write actually in a kind of English which is not very improved version, the editor or some mechanism how to improve it further. We can improve it further. That is not a kind of difficult thing. But ideas are more important than language. Of course, language gives kind of makes the ideas more meaningful. Through that you can convey your ideas. So language is important. You should have a command over the language, whether it is English or whether it is Hindi, because we have to academic writing is entirely different compared to the general writings which we write for the newspapers, for magazines. But academic writing means writing a book or monographs, journal article or book chapters. These are serious writings. We have to, because there is always a kind of word limit, you have to economize your words, and you have to also use words which catches the root of the expression, because there is no substitute for that word. So therefore, you should have a command over language, either Hindi or English or any other language, in whichever way you are writing. How this command can be gained? It can be actually gained. It can be achieved only through reading. If you have a very good reading habits, even if you read newspapers regularly, very seriously, you will also learn how to write, how to form sentences, how to express ideas. That also, it is whether English newspaper or Hindi newspaper or any of these newspapers. If you read seriously, very intensely, if you read editorial pages, you will come to know that how to write very seriously. And remember, actually, when you write academic kind of things, research papers, the major thing is that, as it was pointed out by earlier speakers, that we look for some kind of novelty, newness, some originality must be there. We look for original ideas. Otherwise, it cannot be published. We are writing to publish somewhere. Not to store in our home. but we have to publish. But in order to make it be publishable, it has to be original. It has to be original. It has to be some new, and some novelty must be there. Otherwise, no editor or no journal will publish it. So therefore, it must be original, and the writing has to be a kind of it has to follow a kind of a logical flow. That must be logic. There is a logical flow. Research writings means the essential component is logic. Without logic, research cannot stand. It is because the academic rigor is actually based on logic. So it must be logical. The writings, when it goes from one paragraph to another paragraph, from one page to another page, it must be logically connected. It must be logically connected, or the arguments must be logically built up, or the ideas must be logically shaped. And then the next thing is that when we are writing on a specific theme or specific topic or specific aspect. So there we must focus. It must be focused. It's not that very general. You have to explain something. You don't bring in many things at a time. So you bring things which are relevant, which you need to focus on a particular kind of aspect. Then, and as it was also pointed out by Professor Shukla, it must be clear. There must be clarity. There must be clarity, because it should not be ambiguous. Because when we are writing for somebody, some audience. We are writing some people, some technical audience or some general audience, whatever may be. So it must convey the message. So therefore, it has to be clear and unambiguous. And another thing, that it must be coherent. When the reader reads the first paragraph, automatically it will take you to the second paragraph. It will take him to the second paragraph. Automatically he will turn to the next page. So unknowingly he will keep on going through the pages or through the paragraphs. So that, because that happens when there is a coherence, proper connectivity among the paragraphs, among the pages, and among the various sections. There must be a kind of proper coherence. Otherwise, the writing, it will not be interesting. It will not be interesting. The reader will leave the paper in between. He will not complete the reading. No, it is a kind of bogus paper. I will not waste my time. So then, in order to do all these things, in order to write, in order to enhance your writing skill, because your writing skill means research skill. You should have kind of you are writing a research paper. So all these things depends on your proper understanding of the concepts and theories and a methodological kind of background, which is there in your discipline. Your disciplinary training is important. If your disciplinary training is not strong enough, it will be difficult for you to comprehend the concepts and theories and to link with the kind of your research analysis. Because academic writings, as I told you, it is different from the general writings. Here, we need to have a kind of a theoretical frame of reference, conceptual frame, and methodological kind of a things which is practice in discipline in social sciences or the specific discipline standard kind of manner. So therefore, we need to have a kind of proper grounding on the concepts and theories available in a particular discipline. Therefore, your disciplinary training is important. If it is weak, then it's difficult for you to have a kind of skills, kind of appropriate skill. So therefore, you need to refresh your disciplinary kind of training. So these are the kind of essential components you must keep in mind when we are thinking of the developing writing skill. Writing skill, it cannot be developed just all of a sudden. There is no kind of ready-made button. You can press it and you can be able to produce a paper. So you have to actually you have to keep on reading, and you have to keep on writing. As Professor Shukla was telling, that you have to start writing. Don't actually wait that when can I write. It is difficult actually. It will not, that moment will not come when the perfect page or perfect paragraph will come. When you write something, after some time you may feel that this is not good. Then you improve it. But that essential step is required. That step is required. First step is required, that in order to write something, you have to start at some point in time. Then you can keep on revising it. So therefore, you have to through practice and through continuous trial and error method, you can keep on accumulating the skills. You can keep on accumulating the skills. And writing is a kind of difficult job, but it's a kind of most enjoyable kind of things. Once you come to a stage where you are able to write properly or publish properly, naturally you will get a different kind of source of, it is a different source of satisfaction. That is nothing actually, it is not comparable to anything. So therefore, these are the small kind of steps or some of the kind of components you have to remember, and this will give you some inputs how to enhance the skill. And when somebody you are reading some articles, don't read actually third-rate articles which are published in the kind of predatory journals. It will not give you any insight. You read some articles which are published in standard journals, standard referred journals, which are actually well known in your discipline, which are well known in sociology or in political science, economics. There are all, in each discipline there are some standard journals. You read the articles published in those journals. That will actually give you some insight. While reading, you will also familiarize yourself with the work of others, and you will also learn actually about various techniques of writing, language, vocabularies. All these things you will come to know. So therefore, you keep on reading. Reading is an essential kind of things. Otherwise, nowadays actually the habit of the students that you read one paragraph of a paper or one page, then you leave it halfway. That is not correct. You have to read in the entire paper. So therefore, it is essential. Writing a paper, research paper is a very difficult thing, and it's a time-consuming process, and it involves patience. It involves actually commitment, and it requires a different kind of passion. Otherwise, you cannot write. So that is what actually in precise thing I wanted to share with you. I have nothing much to share already in elaborate manner. Other speakers have already described. I have to leave because I did not know it would extend so long. So now I have to leave now. Thank you so much for making me part of this event. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir, for coming and accept our invitation. You excellently explain how to enhance writing skills, especially the importance of reading. Critical reading is an important component of writing. And thank you very much, sir.
Thank
for
you.
the insights
Thank you. So I am taking leave. Thank you. All the best.
Thank you very much, sir.
I wish the workshop a very grand success. It's I know that it's very useful and you are doing good job. So all of us are with you. So go ahead. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Pranam.
Now I would like to invite Professor Dadichi. He is a former Director of Research, Reserve Bank of India, and former Editor, Indian Journal of Agricultural Economics, Scopus Index. Sir, welcome. Please share your views, your insights, your ideas.
Thank you very much. Honorable Professor Shukla, Professor Joseph, Professor Mohanty, Madam Wasni ji, and my learned friends. I am extremely grateful to the organizers in general and Professor Vikas Kumar in particular for inviting me for two tasks. One is for the inaugural session and another for, I would be also taking a session on designing research papers, some random thoughts, which I will be doing on 22nd of this month. So nice of you. I consider it a privilege, pleasure to be in a August gathering of this kind. It gives me a lot of pleasure. First, I would like to congratulate the organizers for selecting the right topics. When I was going through your day-to-day schedule, you have really done a very nice job, and what is required for a good paper or good paper writing, that aspect you have covered. Your contents are very rich, and I hope the same will percolate to our research scholars. They will also write the good contents, and they will enhance the writing ability. So I'm thankful to you and congratulate you for such a you might have done a wide reading that what topic is required and how they can do they can improve their skill. So thank you very much. And also there is a right kind of the resource persons you have identified. That is also a great job which is required, inviting the right type of the people for the job and taking from them. So also you have done a very nice job in this direction. We will discuss the nitty-gritty of the writing a paper skill and ability during the course of this webinar. But at the same time, I would like to highlight some points which are more important for the people around. And the first point, which is I will not do at the repetition of my previous speakers. They have covered the whole thing. There is nothing left for me now, but I will add something which I have experienced during my research career. My first paper was published in 1970, and it was a part of my PhD thesis. And in those days, I was using only 300 to 400 words. If you count my words, word counting may be say 2,500 or 3,500, but there are the repetitions of the word. So total word I used was only 300. Then I was thinking that this will not take me too far. So first you have to increase your vocabulary. You have to increase your word power. So now I am using 5,000 words. When I write an article, there is these are the words which are particular with me, and I write those, use words those. So a scholar who is engaged in the research and writing, he has to develop that skill. The second most important aspect is that use the idioms and phrases. My first article, which was not for a journal. No, my first article was for a journal, but later on I wrote in 1975 article on regional rural banks, and I used the word that regional rural bank is a drop in the ocean. So you are by opening the 5 banks, and you are actually replacing the money lenders in the country. That would be not possible. So when you give this type of idioms, drop in the ocean, then it works. And I got some of the appreciation letter from the people that while you write, you describe in a very precise manner. So your communication is thorough. So that is the most important aspect which one should do in writing. Then actually now we have a tendency, I have been editor for some time, for more than 5-6 years of the Indian Journal. After that of Dr. Majumdar, who was the earlier editor, I took over. And what I observed, that most of the people, they play like Hanuman. It's not something which I want to convey. The tendency is the people, they bring the mountain. Whenever they submit a paper, lot of information or data they give which is relevant or not relevant. But what as an editor we require is the Sajivani. What is the outcome of this? That is more important. So please bring the Sajivani, search out the Sajivani, and that will help you to get your paper through, and you will get the appreciation from the people. Then next item is, which is also most important, is the use the appropriate tools. The tools are most necessary, and if you do not use the appropriate tools, your results may be misleading. We all know about that case of the average one statistician.
he want to cross the river, and first he calculated the average height of his family, and then the measure the average level of the water in the river. So then he worked out that my family average height is 5 feet, and average height of the water is, they say, 4 feet. So my family will be able to cross the river. And what happened was, those who were below the particular height, they washed away, and his calculations were so similar way. If you use the tools which are not appropriate, average is not an appropriate tool for this type of comparison. Many times this coefficient or correlations or the regressions, which is not useful, that should be not compared. Because once I was just discussing with that our money supply increases, it may be a coincidence, increases when there is the fall of the patjhad. During the autumn season, the money supply will increase, because with the fall of the leaves, this will increase. So such type of the conclusions if we derive, these are the misconceptions which are there, and many of the scholars, they do like this. That actually is the very serious aspect, and we should learn from this that such tools should not be used. The tools which are appropriate, which convey some meaning, because there is a lot of difference between the data and the information. Data is the information about a particular aspects, your height, weight, age, or what sort of data you have. But when you analyze that, those tools are more important, and those tools will take you to have the right kind of the inferences. That is more important. So we should learn that art, that which are the most approved tool, because the information is only used for deriving, coming at a right kind of the decisions. So data is important because it is most important because it's the primary. But then you go further and analyze that in a right, with the help of the right tool. Those are important, and that they will take your paper to the higher level, which is more important. I am also wish to convey my thanks to the
Thank you, sir.
to the organizers once again. But before I conclude, I would like to say that if we really want to develop the good skill, writing skill, there should be some regular workshops, not only on the writing skills, but analytical skill, write up the tools which your research scholars association would like to conduct from time to time. And I will suggest that the authorities, UGC and others, that kindly increase the funds for this, because this is the very core area which is most important. So the government should look into it and try to develop these skills, which is most important. So that is the one another. Then second part is that I would also suggest that online is fine, but we should have offline workshops, and we should have incentives and rewards. Those papers which are those scholars who are coming out with a good paper, good research, and they should be given some reward, because after all, the research helps in better governance. So it improves the society's cultural resources, society's working. So what is required is that we have to enhance the funds for these activities to give more incentive to the research scholars. I remember, you will surprise that when I was doing my research, the university gave me grants, research grants, it was only 100 rupees, and you will surprise, I had a flight for a 35 rupees from Jodhpur to Kota. I traveled by Daketo plane, and the fare was only 35 rupees. You will surprise that those were the days, but now it's required a lot of money for the research scholars to come up. So we have to think about this, and association of yours will do some in this direction, approach the ministries, because the other associations are good, but because yours is a primary where you save the people. They will suppose, I was with the Indian Society of Agricultural Economics for more than 25 years. But then we have the agriculture economists. Already you have the finished goods with you. You are shaping the people. Your organization is the shaping the people from the those who have done his MA and then come to you for a further. So you have to incur more resources, give him incentives, and so you approach the government. We are with you, and I wish you all the best. And I will discuss the all other points when we will meet on 22nd of this month. So thank you very much once again for inviting me. So kind of you. Thank
Thanks
you.
to you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. It's really a very good to hear you. Your views, your insights are really incredible. Your experience regarding the publications and other things, really excellent. Thank you very much, sir.
So nice. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I would like to invite Professor Shireen Muswi for presidency remarks. She is a former chairperson of the Department of History, Aligarh Muslim University, and co-editor of the Studies People's History Journal from SAGE publication. Uh, Ma'am,
Serin ma'am, please unmute yourself. You are mute.
yes, ma'am.
Please click the button. Ah, Serin ma'am, your voice is not coming. Ma'am, your voice is not coming because you are mute, ma'am. You are mute. Please unmute yourself. Please call to us, Apsana ma'am, and she will do it. No issue, ma'am. We are waiting. No issue. Please, no issue. Ma'am, please click the button up because ma'am.
Unmute.
Yes, yes,
Hello.
Yes,
yes.
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Now your voice is coming, ma'am. Now please continue.
Right.
Okay.
Sorry for the trouble. I'm most grateful to the Research Scholars Association, and I appreciate their attempt to hold this conference or this whole discussion. To begin on a rather personal note, I will say that I did my MSc in mathematics first, and then after joining research on differential manifolds at Lucknow University with Professor Dr. Hon'ble and Professor R.P. Agarwal, all of a sudden I was called to Aligarh, and there, where they wanted to quantify history, have quantification in history. And I was asked, have I read anything of history? So I said, I have read Discovery of India by Jawaharlal Nehru, and I have read Letters to My Daughter, I have read Glimpses of World History, and I was taunted that I have read all my history from Chacha Nehru, which I immediately accepted. And I said, yes, it's only out of love for Chacha Nehru that I have read all these books. Otherwise, I don't know anything. I have read history, social sciences, as a social sciences up to class 8. So I have this, I said, this personal note I made because I wanted to say that I have some experience of doing research in mathematics, and of course, then in history, where I quantified history, and my book, An Economy of the Mughal Empire, a statistical study came out from Oxford University Press. And so, what I would like to say for as a personal note that one have different methods in history in research for different subjects. Of course, if you are doing research on mathematics, you are have a totally different attitude and you have different methods to apply. And if you are doing on some other subjects, say literature, then a different style, a different methodology. Methodology varies from subject or groups of subjects to other subjects. So I have some experience in mathematics and I have experience in history where I did my research. Though I use a lot of mathematics into it, my half of my book is on figures only rather than. So the question which arises is that one should have an open mind and one should have two, particularly if one is going to social sciences, one has to be more careful because there you have not, unlike mathematics or physics or chemistry, you do not have facts only which you have to go ahead and develop further or to discover further facts and all that. If you are coming to literature or history or subjects like that, then you have to depend more on your own imaginations and have to be more careful. But one thing which is very essential is that while we are using the source material, it we should must read it in the language it is in which it is written. I can very well tell you that if you read the writings on history, like the Abul Fazl's Akbarnama or Ain Akbari or other things, if you read in English translation, Beveridge's translation, this is totally different from what the originals are because it's a literal translation which loses all the, say, the real sense of the subject which was discussed. So, one very important thing is to know the language of your sources if you are doing in social sciences or in arts. If you are doing, of course, in mathematics or physics or chemistry, then you have to use different methodology. Then you are on a much more solid grounds or firmer grounds where there can't be two views or three views or four views. So it is very essential for a research scholar to realize that what the subject one is selecting and what type of material he has to go to. Whether it's mathematics was very easy for me to go over to easy in a way that there are not two views about it. I was working on differentiable manifolds when I was doing my research at Lucknow University with Professor R.P. Agarwal and Dr. Mrs. K.D. Professor Mrs. Singh, and it was all safe. So. But the minute I came over to history and started working with Professor Irfan Habib on history, this was totally, while the book is a statistical study, Economy of the Mughal Empire, a statistical study. In spite of that, I have to read Persian, learn Persian, read the Rakam notation, or rather the script in which the numerals are written in Persian, and all those sort of things. So, to go over to original sources, if you are in arts or social sciences, is essential. If you are doing in science, then it's in one way it is easier because you are on a firmer ground. And therefore, I think that the idea, I don't know, of the research scholars who themselves tried to do that, Research Scholars Association, to have some sort of a discussion on it is a very good idea, because one not only learns from one's experience, but one also learns from one's mistakes. What mistakes one has covered, say, committed. And therefore, what is very essential is that we should, if we are in social sciences, we must go over to original sources. If we are, of course, in mathematics or in physics or chemistry, then this is also difficult, but it's getting the material is much easier. Understanding it might be much more difficult. There are two things. One is in social sciences, getting the material is easier, understanding it is easier. But in mathematics or in other subjects like physics or chemistry, getting the material is easy, but representing it or presenting it is still difficult. So these sort of things one has to keep in mind while on what subject or what sort of themes one is working. The one thing for social sciences is original sources, not translations. Translations are always misguiding. They are not accurate. And if you are doing in mathematics, even there, the books written by the big men on which you are working, so those are, it is very important to see or to feel, particularly if, so not so much in mathematics in which I was working, but particularly in physics and chemistry. You have to do the, not only depend upon what the other experiments of the other made, you have to make your own experiments. You can't become a Newton if you have not committed a large number of mistakes and follies and learned by your own mistakes. So this is, in my view, is the thing that a research scholar ought to be very careful about which subject he is taking for research. Not only that whether it is social science, whether it is pure sciences, or whether it is literature, but at the same time, that what sort of material is available and what is his own interest. If one goes over to subject something, I went over to mathematics or science or all that because I was a Nehru worshipper or lover, and Chacha Nehru said country needs engineers, so I wanted to become an engineer. I didn't bother what my own interest. That was rather something, a mistake of mine, the childhood mistake, I will say, or the young age mistake. But it is also that you also know your own mind, that what really interests you. You can do well in a subject which you like reading and in which you like doing research. Whether it is chemistry, whether it is physics, whether it is mathematics, whether it is history, whether it is geography, one has to have a bent of mind. Without that, one should not just go that where there are more job opportunities. Job opportunities may be limited in some subject and more in another subject, but the question is that you have to excel yourself in the subject on which you are working. Then you will get the job, whatever subject you might have been taking, you will. I took only medieval Indian history and I rose to be a professor much sooner than many seniors of mine in other subjects. It's not the question of that. Of course, my one say advantage was that I was knowing the language of the sources. I knew Persian because my family came from Iran, and Persian for us was almost a mother tongue. Besides English, Urdu, and Hindi, and all other subjects with languages which we have learned, even Sanskrit, which I have learned up till class 12. So this is what I will say is the major thing, which if we want to enhance the research, our abilities to do research or write a research paper. If you write a research paper which there is nothing new you are coming up, of course nobody is bothered. And if something new comes out of it, I think many people have worked on history and moral history. But the only thing novelty in my book was, which Oxford has published and republished 3 editions, was a statistical study. It was not description like in history, but it was figures. It was full of figures, tables, and all that. So some novelty, some new thing is required, if I think so. And it's my advice to my youngsters and my friends in the Research Scholars Association. Look at your own, or be sure of your own interest. In what subject are you interested, what really attracts you. Not only keep in mind in what subject I'll get a better job. If you excel in something, you will get good jobs, you will get promotions. If you don't excel yourself because you are not interested into it, it is something taken over by you under some compulsion, you can never enjoy doing it, and you will never really excel yourself. So this is in brief what I think I will suggest or put forward for consideration to my younger friends who are the hopes of tomorrow. We are, of course, now belong to the past, and they are the hopes of our future. Our country's further development depends upon that. A realistic attitude, no sort of, rather, some fixed ideas. I believe in this. I may or may not. I may be an admirer of Nehru, but if I write a book on him or read his books, I should be fully critical of what he is writing. Have a critical attitude to read. So, this critical attitude, this interest in going into details is something which I will suggest my younger students to maintain it. Then I don't want to take much of their time, but I will always be available on this number. If anybody else wishes to talk to me in greater detail or have questions to ask, I'll be more happy to answer questions.
Thank
Thank
you,
you so
madam.
much, ma'am.
Madam, we want to also listen you in our valedictory session, which will conduct on the 24th of the October.
24.
On 24th. Of
Yes,
course,
Yes,
I'll
ma'am.
be at your disposal. Let me know the time and I'll be.
and the respected participant, madam is a co-editor of the studies in pupils history, a sage
Yes,
publication.
yes,
So those
yes.
scholars want to publish there, but the very qualitative journal madam are publishing.
Of
The
course, we are taking off a journal, bringing out a journal.
yes,
Studies in people's
pupils
history,
history.
we call it. So
Best
it's,
history recording.
it's all branches of history, ancient, medieval, modern, European, Indian, whatever, of any country. Simply studies in people's history. Our concern is that we are not concerned only on what the situation was, but how people were affected by that.
Yes,
So Professor
Yes,
Irfan
yes.
Habib is the editor. I am the joint editor, and I'll be more than happy to get papers from you, or to, if you have any questions. Knowledge grows out of disagreement. So I will say, whenever you ask me for anything, I would like you to contradict me, try to argue out with me, not accept what I am saying, because none of us is perfect, and I may change my ideas with your suggestions, and you may change your ideas with my.
yes,
So
Definitely.
it's a mutual thing between teachers and students. I belong to a family of teachers only, where no one did anything else except teaching. And I think knowledge grows out of disagreements,
yes,
out of debates. So you are most welcome. I'll be more than happy to be with you whenever you like.
yes.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Thanks for giving
Now
me
I
the
would like
opportunity.
to invite
Yeah.
Subhangi ji for vote of thanks.
Whenever you like, send me an email or WhatsApp, and I'll
Yes, ma'am. I will
Sure,
do.
ma'am.
I will do.
Definitely.
Yes,
write.
sure, ma'am.
Only
Sure.
once a week I go to the department because Professor Irfan Habib comes. So on that day I may, if it clashes, then I'll tell you that. But if you are keeping it in the afternoon, then I'm always.
Yes, ma'am. Afternoon, ma'am.
I never stay beyond 1 o'clock in the department.
Yes, ma'am.
I do go to the
Yes, ma'am.
department, but frequently, but not regularly. But after 1 o'clock, I'm always back. So if you keep at any time after that, I'll be more happier to be with you because discussing things with you. And this time, next time, whenever you ask me, I would like questions and I would like comments.
Yes,
I would like an interaction, not a solo presentation by me that you are only the listener. Don't listen, interrupt in between,
Sure,
ask a
ma'am.
question, then it becomes interesting.
yes, yes, ma'am.
Sure,
Thank
ma'am.
you.
Yes.
Right. So, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your cooperation.
Okay. Look
Thank you.
forward to meeting you again.
Sure, ma'am. Now, I would like to invite Miss Subhangi for vote of thanks.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, everyone. I'm Shubhangi Amle, a research scholar from Maharashtra. First of all, I would like to express my great gratitude to all the research persons for enlightening us and sharing your experiences with us. Thank you so much once again. Then I would like to say thanks to all the participants for patiently listening and joining the session. I also thankful to IRSA team. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, thank you. And Subhangi, please send the attendance sheet in the chat box.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Sirin ma'am, now you can left. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
So I request to the all participants, please make sure that fill the attendance form as soon as possible.
Sir, I'm unable to send attendance.
Please send me. Then I just I send the chat box.
Subhangi ji,
Okay, sir.
send
Okay, sir.
the attendance sheet to the Vikas sir.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Hmm. 1 minute.